Okay, another boring nerd old man video about the Honda NC750X. This is the 2023 model, and you can see here, if you're wondering what's the deal with that seat, that is a top Sellerie seat via France/Portugal that I installed yesterday, and it's heated. Thanks to my wife, she said, why not get the heated one? So yes, she is the best wife in the world. And I will try to remember which color blue I ordered because I think it matches the bike pretty nicely. So you can see here the switch for high-low heat on the seat. Both pieces were, I think, 500 bucks, including shipping. Pretty crazy. So I put it on yesterday. There are only a few little things that aren't perfect about it. There's a bit of a gap right there. The other thing is that when you go to release the gas tank, you have to kind of push down on this because the way the seat meets the passenger seat meets the other seat, there's a little bit of upward pressure, which means that it doesn't pop up quite as easily when you turn the crank or you turn the key because of extra friction. So if you push down here, and then I'll try to turn the key while holding the camera, then pops up normally. And you can see in here, if the light will adjust, you can actually see the wiring. So you see that there's some wiring up in the passenger seat here, and the main power came out of the passenger seat and it runs down through these two little wires. And what I did is when I had the seat off here, I did what I usually do, which is I ran it to my thunder box. So I ran it through here, underneath everything there. From there it comes out and it just goes over the gas tank, which is under the seat. And then at that point, there is a small opening. There's a rubber flap under the seat here. This, by the way, is the lanyard for my Helite airbag vest, which I found a mount point under there. Anyway, there's a small opening, at which point I ran the wiring through this area here between the frunk and the outside plastics. And it ran up and under here, and underneath this area is where I have the power blocks from my Thunderbox, and you can see another one of my videos that explains how I have that. And the Thunderbox, of course, is tucked into there. So the seat only gets heat, or the heated seat only gets power when the engine is running because of the genius of the Thunderbox. And another thing I did, which if you are going to run a Thunderbox where I did, is I actually ran, you can see here, maybe you see this, if you can see this little black paracord with white reflectors in it. I ran a piece of paracord from here back. It's inside the battery case, so that next time I need to thread any power from there to there, I take the ends out, I tie them in the middle, and I can just loop the thing continuously through, and that's how I fed the power leads in. The power leads that came with the seat were not quite long enough to make it all the way up here, so I did have to graft in some extra wire, but that was no problem. Everything runs properly. I'll even show you that in a second. The other thing I had to do is there's a power lead that connects the front seat to the rear seat, and that hooks together with that little connector there. And there's a good place to tuck that in right underneath the frame that holds the latch. And I was very careful to make sure that it didn't get tangled with the latch, and it doesn't appear to. So that is what I've got with that top Sellerie seat. Now can I, left-handed? Yeah, so now you'll see that when you're putting this down, it doesn't close quite as easily as the other one did because, again, there's just more resistance here. So now it's closed, and it's good. Let's start it up and look at the power. This thing was stored all winter and it started up on the first crank. Now the Thunderbox is showing that the engine is running, so it'll deliver power. Low heat is the green light. High heat is the red light. I haven't tried this out yet to see how warm my butt gets, but it's only 60 degrees today, so maybe I will give that a try.